Hamas is now delaying the release of the Israeli hostages, treading a very thin line. President Trump said that if all of the hostages are not back by Saturday at 12 o'clock, all hell will break out in Gaza. Let's get into it. I'm Justin Hilton, and this is the Israel Guys. As part of the latest ceasefire deal, Hamas has been releasing a few Israeli hostages every week for the past month or so in exchange for hundreds of Palestinian terrorists. Well, yesterday, Hamas announced that they are delaying the release of the hostages who are supposed to be released on February 15th until further notice due to Israel's quote-unquote alleged violations of the ceasefire agreement. The spokesman for Hamas's Al-Qassam brigades, Abu Obaida, stated that they had been, quote, monitoring Israeli actions over the past 3 weeks. He specifically accused Israel of delaying the return of displaced Gazans to the northern Gaza Strip, targeting civilians with shelling and gunfire, and restricting the entry of humanitarian aid. He said, quote, accordingly, the handover of the Zionist prisoners who were scheduled to be released next Saturday will be postponed until further notice and until the occupation commits to compensating for the past weeks retroactively. And this statement comes all while Hamas is also claiming that they have fulfilled all of their obligations to the ceasefire. How ironic. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz called Hamas's announcement, quote, an outright violation of the ceasefire. And he is absolutely right here. They are 100% violating the ceasefire. I think Trump is getting pretty fed up with all of this. He said yesterday that, quote, all hell is going to break out if Hamas did not release the remaining hostages by Saturday. Watch this.
Well, I would say this, and I'm going to let that because that's Israel's decision. But as far as I'm concerned, if all of the hostages aren't returned by Saturday at 12 o'clock, I think it's an appropriate time. I would say cancel it and all bets are off and let hell break out. I'd say they ought to be returned by 12 o'clock on Saturday, and if they're not returned, all of them, not in drips and drabs, not 2 and 1 and 3 and 4 and 2. Saturday at 12 o'clock, and after that, I would say all hell is going to break out.
Now, what he means by all hell is going to break out, I'm not sure exactly. A reporter asked him that same question, and he responded with, you'll find out, and they'll find out too. Hamas will find out what I mean. Now, I want to be clear. We're talking about people's lives being at stake here, namely the remaining 76 or so hostages who are still in Gaza. But I think Trump is right here. This ceasefire needs to end. Israel needs to stop releasing hundreds of terrorists into Gaza and Judea and Samaria. What the solution is, I'm not sure exactly, but maybe it is time for all hell to break out in Gaza until every single one of the Israeli hostages is brought back home. According to the Times of Israel, Hamas's announcement prompted Prime Minister Netanyahu to move up a planned meeting of his high-level security cabinet, and Defense Minister Israel Katz ordered the military to be on high alert. A senior Hamas official, he said this in response to Trump's ultimatum, his message. He said, quote, Trump's language of threats has no value and will complicate matters. He must remember that there's an agreement that both sides must honor. This is the only way to bring back the hostages. Really? That's the only way to bring back the hostages. I have an idea. Maybe you could just release them, or better yet, never have ripped them from their families and held them hostage for over 16 months. Guys, we'll be right back with the rest of the show in just 1 second. But first, with the challenges Israel is facing, I want to share with you a way you can strengthen Jewish families on the front lines of the battle for the land. Blessed by Israel is a company that brings the amazing products of families in the biblical heartland to people around the world. From Israel to your doorstep, enjoy awesome products like coffee roasted to perfection by Agro Cafe, which by the way, we drink every day here in the office, several kinds of delicious honey, jewelry, organic spices, and much, much more. All from wonderful, small family-owned businesses in Israel Guys, be a part of encouraging and investing in the people of Israel and enjoy high quality products at the same time. Head over to blessedbuisrael.com to purchase beautiful boutique products and make your impact today. Use the code INVEST for $5 off your first order at blessedbyisrael.com, or you can just click the link in the description below. Along the same lines, Trump apparently told reporters in the White House that he could withhold aid to Jordan and Egypt if they don't take in Palestinian refugees he wants to relocate from Gaza. As you know, unless you've been living under a rock, Trump suggested the idea of these countries, along with a couple other countries like Indonesia. He suggested that they take in Palestinians from Gaza, and every single one of those countries said, no, absolutely not. We won't do that. Well, Trump just said this, quote, if they don't agree, I would conceivably withhold aid. Maybe that'll make you change your mind. He also said he thought he could make a deal with Jordan and Egypt to take the displaced Palestinians, saying the U.S. gives the two countries billions and billions of dollars a year, which is true. So I think it's definitely possible he could force these countries to take in Palestinian refugees. When he was asked if Palestinians would be able to return to Gaza, he said this, quote, no, they wouldn't, because they're going to have much better housing. I'm talking about building a permanent place for them. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, he did say something a little bit different from Trump. He said this last week that Palestinians would have to, quote, live somewhere else in the interim during reconstruction. Obviously implying that they would be able to come back once they rebuilt Gaza. I think he's supposed to visit the Middle East next week. Also, Trump is scheduled to meet Jordan's King Abdullah today as well. So I guess we'll see what comes of all of this. What exactly is going to happen in the next few weeks or even a few days here in Israel? I don't know. What I do know, though, is that there are big changes coming not only to Israel, but also to the whole Middle East very, very soon. I think we'll be keeping you updated with all the latest news from Israel, so make sure you get subscribed to the channel here. Guys, to finish out today, we just had a group of 27 guys come in yesterday to experience Israel and prune the vineyards for 2 weeks. Absolutely amazing group of guys. Here's a short update video from the fields today.
Guys, it's day one. Pruning 2025 has begun. We're out here in the field. Got about 30 guys here, just showed up last night, and we're hitting it hard here in Migdalim in the hills of Samaria. Getting to see actual biblical prophecy come to life. The mountains are sprouting forth. You can see all the green behind me. You can see it all coming to life. We're getting to be a part of the fulfillment of prophecy. Guys, this isn't just happening anywhere else in the world. Just here in Israel are the biblical words of Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel. All of these prophets that you've read your whole life are happening today. It's 2025. We're seeing it happen. And if you want to see it happen, you need to come and see it happen for yourself. Yeah, Pruning 2025 has begun. Let's go.
If you guys want to come on one of these trips, you can sign up at serveisrael.com or click the link in the description below. Make sure, guys, check out the amazing products from Blessed by Israel. You'll get these amazing products all while supporting the biblical heartland of Israel. I definitely encourage you guys to check them out, blessedbyisrael.com, or better yet, just click the link in the description below. Subscribe. Get the conversation going down in the comments below. As always, stop listening to the lies and propaganda and connect with the truth of what is happening in Israel. We'll be back soon here at the Israel Guys. Catch you in the next one.